This is a former DNC advisor and former campaign staffer for Hillary Clinton. Mark Serrano is a Trump 2020 campaign advisor. I want to start with you. This was part talk about sanctuary cities and also part rally type situation. What about the president's message do you think we should be hitting today in terms of asking about?
So the president demonstrated that walls work. We are testing the prototypes. He does what he does so well, which is he met with the experts on the ground, the people whose lives are at stake every day on the border, and he takes so much input from them. And they're saying, Mr. President, we need a border wall. So now what we need the Democrats to get out of his way. They are blocking funding to a border wall, which has tremendous support, and they are also blocking enforcement agents from seeking out criminal illegal aliens. What a juxtaposition, what a parallel in the many ways that the Democrats are blocking this president. But he's saying, look, border walls work. We've done studies in Yuma, Arizona. There was a terrific study where we put up a barrier and it reduced by 82% border crossings and increased drug interdiction by 8,000%. So border walls work, and the president's saying that.
Zach, you're shaking your head.
I am. First off, border walls don't work for a couple of reasons. First of all, there has been a net decrease in the amount of undocumented immigrants that are crossing the border, which is a trend that started before Donald Trump came into office. Second, the most number of increase of undocumented immigrants that we have seen don't come from over the border. They come from ports of entry, and they come because of overstays on visas. And so a border wall that was originally supposed to be paid by Mexico is now just a taxpayer-funded boondoggle for Donald Trump and the cronies that are going to get construction contracts to build this massive infrastructure.
Mark?
Cronies. I mean, this money is not going to Donald Trump's cronies. That's sort of a silly claim. The president is going to put the funds where they belong in a comprehensive program. We need for the Democrats to get out of his way. We need a border wall, which has got tremendous support, but we also need more patrolmen, on patrol, and more technology. And that's what he's calling for.
So what the president has said, it's a border wall system that has all of those components. And, I don't know if it's a genuine thing to say that you honestly think the money's going into anybody's pockets, because Democrats have said all along that they didn't want to give money for the wall, and you saw Chuck Schumer pull it back after the first government shutdown over the issue of immigration, led by your team. No, we're going to pull the money back for the wall. Well, if you didn't think it was going for the wall, why did you put it up in the first place?
First off, what you're saying is you're skipping a step. They offered the money for the wall for Donald Trump, and Donald Trump turned it down. And the reason that he turned it down is because he was not actually serious. He wants this as a campaign issue.
Not serious. He should have spent a lot of time.
Wait a second. The president made clear he wanted three things, and they wouldn't give them to him.
All right. I got to do some breaking news, and I'm going to do it with you two. The U.S. government sources are telling Fox News Attorney General Jeff Sessions is reviewing the possible termination of former Deputy FBI Director Andrew McCabe. Remember, he was mentioned in those text messages between those two agents talking about, whether or not they had a secret plan to have things politically their way. What are your thoughts?
I think the American people have to have confidence in our law enforcement agencies. And when we see what we saw took place during the Obama administration in its last months, it erodes confidence by the American people. The president is seeking to rebuild the confidence. And frankly, I think the attorney general is seeking to rebuild that confidence by holding people accountable, right, who were biased on the job and who shouldn't have been in that job if they're biased.
Yeah, he was talked about as Andy in those text messages. And remember, Peter Strzok and Lisa Page with the agency said they had some sort of insurance policy in terms of who would be in the White House. I want to say this, though. Fox News has learned if the former deputy FBI director Andrew McCabe, the termination of him, if it's terminated by close of business this Friday, that would mean McCabe would not receive a government pension. Zach?
Right. I mean, what this is yet another assault on law enforcement in an effort to discredit the Russia investigation. Let's remember that the one thing that we know from the coming IG report about Andrew McCabe is that they found wrongdoing on his part, not for anti-Trump, but anti-Clinton, when he allowed people to talk about the Clinton Foundation investigation with journalists right before the election. The only evidence we have of Andrew McCabe wrongdoing is actually anti-Hillary and pro-Trump.
Harris,
It's
the only
gotta
one
be
who
real
discredited
quick.
law enforcement were the leaders of law enforcement under Obama. They're the ones who discredited law enforcement.
Wow. Absolutely false.
Andrew McCabe, if he's let go by Friday, he doesn't get his pension, and we understand that Jeff Sessions, the AG, is looking at that as a possibility. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Termination of McCabe breaking this hour. The president with his choices for new Secretary of State and CIA director, both of them facing upcoming confirmation hearings and a vote. One Republican senator says not so fast. There he is. That's a live picture of Rand Paul of Kentucky opposing both nominations. He might waive. We're going to go to commercial. I'm going to ask him all about why he's against the president on this. Stay close.